Yeah, I know what you're thinking. Is it really worth it? I mean, fact is, no one else is ever going to see these films, are they? And that's the truth. No one's ever going to see these films anyway, you know. I mean, we're on YouTube, you know. But I would see it and I could never watch for it, you know. Hard getting old. It's a funny thing getting old, you see. I'm getting old. 49 now. 49. No, 48. No, that's next year. Robert's 49. Shit. I'm not 49. I want to be 49. I like 49. I ain't got there yet. I'm 48. So I'm only 48. It's a bit of a backer, isn't it? You've got to wait until 49. Actually, Rob just got married. Rob's 49. I keep forgetting. Robert's 49 this year. She's got married. Debs, you're wonderful. Oh. Please do print up that fucking wedding speech. It was wonderful. I love words, Debs. Robert doesn't normally like words. To tell the story of Debs. I wrote a letter once to my brother, Rob, you know, when he was married to Leslie, you know. And, you know, I wrote a very, very personal letter. This for Debs. I wrote a very, very personal letter to Robert about the Mum and Dad's golden anniversary. You know, about Mum and Dad's golden anniversary, because they were like married for 50 years, you know. It was their 50th anniversary, golden anniversary. The big, big, big celebration. This one's for Debs. Anyway, I wrote this letter to my brother, Robert. You see, Debs. This is why I can't write letters anymore. You know what I mean? This one's for Debs, seriously. Promise me one thing. You're my sister now. I'm your brother now. And Debs, I'm your brother. Oh, terrible, isn't it? I love it. I love you, actually. You're very wonderful. What I'm saying is, never open Robert's personal mail. Alright? That was the problem. Leslie always used to open the personal mail. She used to open all of Robert's letters. No wonder he divorced her. No private life whatsoever. No wonder he fucking divorced her. But anyway, the problem was that it was my mum and dad's golden anniversary day. Right. So I wrote a very personal and confidential letter to my brother, Robert, you see. It was to my brother. Very private and confidential letter, to my brother Robert. And I said, Robert, look, it's Mum and Dad's golden anniversary, 50th anniversary. Big fucking time, Robert. I said, Rob, can you wait until I get there? Because I'm a postman and I couldn't get the day off work. You see, I could not get the day off work because I'm a postman. So I arrived about 2 o'clock, only to find that they'd already had the meal without me. Mum and Dad were there. It was their golden anniversary. Jim and Diana was there. And Robert, Leslie, and Donald, and I think Tracy. You were all there at Mum and Dad's golden anniversary party, right? And you had the meal without me. Now that really hurt me. Robert, that really fucking hurt me. Think about it. Mum and Dad's. I tried to write it in a letter, Robert. It was Mum and Dad's 50th anniversary. Golden anniversary. You had the fucking meal without me. Without me. You could not wait. You could not wait 1 hour. How do you think I felt, Robert? And Mum and Dad's golden anniversary. How do you think I really felt? I arrived, you know, a bit late in the afternoon, about 2 o'clock after work. I ran to the station and got a train. And you had the fucking meal without me. Now, how do you think that makes me feel, Robert? How do you think that made me feel? It was Mum and Dad's. Your mum, my mum, your dad, my dad. It was their bloody golden anniversary. 50 fucking years. It was their 50 fucking years anniversary. And you had the bloody meal without me. You had the meal without me. How do you think that made me bloody feel? Anyway, Auntie Anne came up to me afterwards. I'm having to record it again there a bit. Auntie Anne, that's Bill's Anne, she came up to me afterwards and said, Bill, are you alright? I said, no, I'm not, Auntie Anne. She says, why not? I said, they had the fucking meal without me. They could not wait for me. Mum and Dad's golden anniversary, Anne. And they had the meal without me. And I was really upset. So Auntie Anne and Bill drove me home. Anyway, that's the story of the letter. And suffice to say, I did a chat to me Annie. I love me Annie. She said, now she drove me home because I was really upset after Mum and Dad's golden anniversary. Anyway, I was at the wedding, and I'm sorry Anne and Bill couldn't make it to the wedding because it was too expensive, you know, sort of shit like that. But anyway, it was a lovely wedding, and I did enjoy myself, but the food was crap at the house. I must admit, the food was shit at that hotel. I did not like the food at all at that hotel. I'll tell you about it later. Anyway, I had a good chat with my cousin here, and me and Louis had a lovely time. Louis is my nephew. We had a bit of fun. We had a lot of fun. Anyway, and I was chatting to me, Lionel's Anne, you know, me Annie, oh yeah. And apparently she's known the Bayliss since they were born, basically. Because they all grew up in Newgate Street, didn't they? The Bayliss. They all grew up in Newgate Street, because apparently Aunt Annie was afraid of Uncle Bill. The other Annie, Lionel's Annie. She was afraid of Uncle Bill. I don't know why. Anyway, so she knows the story of the Bayliss, totally. Anyway, yeah, I'm Bill. Anyway, I'm only number 6. Well, number 4 out of 5. Basically 4 out of 5, because Mum and Dad are number. Mum and Dad, they made 5 of us. You see, that's why you got 5 fingers. True story. The reason why you got 5 fingers, because Mum and Dad had sex. Because Daddy was a sailor, actually. Daddy was a sailor, and they weren't allowed to get married. When my mummy got pregnant, my nanny didn't like my dad because he was a sailor or something, and so they couldn't get married until mummy was 21. So she was about 3 months pregnant, right? Oh, she had Jackie. Jackie's my big sister. Jackie's our thumb. She's our sister, our big sister. Jackie's our thumb. She's dead now. Actually, she died with a blood clot in her brain about 2 years ago. When you destroyed the video and when you destroyed the VHS, you destroyed the television. You know, in about 2011. Do you remember when everything went digital and said, now it's gone digital and you don't have no choice? No choice. Are you really sure about that? So I cancelled my TV license. Anyway, I found all the TV programs I want to watch on Amazon. They're brilliant. Amazon is amazing. I love it. I do like Amazon. They're giving me free films to watch. And they're giving me free TV shows to watch. I do like Amazon now. I think they're fucking amazing. You don't really need a television anymore. I've got it all on my computer now, you see. I'll tell you about that later. Anyway, yeah, no, anyway, Jack is the oldest. He was born in 1958. He's dead now. There's James, born in 1961. Robert's born in 1965. I was born in 66, and Donald was born in 1970, so there's actually 5. There was 5. We used to live in this house with close. It was brilliant. We always used to have, well, Jim had his own little bedroom. Jim had a little bedroom. I had a little bedroom. Because me and Robert used to share the big bedroom. So Mum and Dad had one big bedroom. In Wood Close it was great. There was 2 big bedrooms in Wood Close. Right, it was like 2 big bedrooms. Mum and Dad used to have one bedroom. And then Robert and Donald used to share the bedroom. Because Robert and Donald used to live in bunk beds. Because me and Robert used to always fight. It was lovely, wasn't it? But anyway, I used to live in my little bedroom. And I had Madness. I had Madness and Special. I played Madness and Bauhaus a lot in my little bedroom. And Robert and Donald, they used to play things like Specials. And Robert used to love fucking heavy metal music like Queen. Robert was a big Queen fan. In fact, he had all the Queen records. Bloody hell, should have kept them, Robert. Robert used to love Queen. and he loved AC/DC, Motorhead, Led Zeppelin. Robert was the heavy metal fan of the family. You know, he used to love heavy metal. Robert loved heavy metal music like Saxon, and you never heard of them, have you? And ELO, he used to listen to ELO a lot. Robert used to listen to ELO a lot. And Robert used to listen to ELO a lot. Saxon and Queen and Kiss and Motorhead, all the heavy metal sort of shit. And then I used to go to Jim's bedroom, and Jim was playing the Stranglers and the Sex Pistols all the time when we were kids. Jim had his room and he was playing this. Because we used to have these things called record players, right? When we were kids, when we were children, we used to have these things called record players. True story. And we used to play these plastic discs called these records. They were like records, plastic discs. We used to play them on our record players, and we all, each of us had our own record player, you see. We all had our own record players. And in Robert's room, Robert and Donald's room, because Robert and Donald used to share a room quite a lot, we used to have, it was Motorhead, you know, and all that heavy metal shit, you know, like Kiss and all that kind of crap, which wasn't my style, like, it wasn't my style, that, you know. So I used to have my bedroom, and I used to play things like Madness, J.J. Cale and Tom Waits. I used to play a lot of Tom Waits. I love Tom Waits. Bauhaus, and all the gothic sort of stuff. So I had my own little room. And Jimmy used to play the Stranglers and Sex Pistols and stuff like that in his room. And then I used to go downstairs to Miss Jackie's room, because Jackie was on the next floor. She had the pink room. Jackie had the pink room. And she used to play things like Simon and Garfunkel, Elton John, and Jackie used to play things like the Animals, and she used to play all the hippie sort of music. So we had a lovely, lovely fucking life when we were kids. That's a bit of it, anyway. Better stop this before it goes flat. Anyway, I'm going to put you back onto reality in a minute. This is a fucking camera. Not bad at all, is it? Oh, sorry, that's a fuck. Anyway, yeah. How are you? Do you remember your own history? So when I was a kid, there were 7 of us, you know. Well, there was a lot more as well. I got my artist uncles and granddad. And lots of things. But actually, my dad's a great granddad, actually. He's a brilliant granddad. Because when I was a kid, I did have one I only had one granddad when I was a child. That was Alf. That was Alf. Alf was my granddad. But he was my step-granddad, you see. So my daddy is actually the first ever blood granddad of the family. He's the one on kidney, my dad's on kidney dialysis, you know, like I say, if we could replace the tubes, the arteries with silicone tubes or something. So my dad is actually the first granddad of the family, really. Because actually, yeah, I mean, I was thinking, Daddy, all this religious bullshit, yeah, if you die in heaven, where are you going to go? Nowhere. Because you know why? Because your fucking grandchildren are here on earth, Daddy. My daddy is the first blood granddad of the family we've ever had. In fact, I'd say my daddy is probably the first blood granddad that our family has ever had. The only granddad. Well, you know, the first blood one. Because they've got they might have 2 or 3 granddads, actually, I think. Oh, actually, because of their grandmother. Sorry, I'm talking shit. Their mothers have parents, too. So it might be, you know. But for actually the Bailey family, I'm seriously, Bailey family, we had great granddad. Well, no, because Grandad Sankey. We had Grandad Sankey, didn't we? Grandad Sankey was our blood granddad. I'm saying, Robert, I'm saying one thing, Robert, you're only 50 next year. Have another kid with Debs. I think Robert might have a son. I still think my brother might have a son. Because Robert, actually, spin on the point, Robert, you're Caleb, aren't you? I know, I usually talk to mirrors, but I thought I'd make it easy this way. Robert, truth is, you're Caleb, aren't you? And Calebs tend to live into their 90s. Well, Caleb Sankey was about 92. Robert Caleb Bailey. That's your name. That's who you are. You're the Caleb of the family, Robert. You're the Caleb. Now, you've got another 40-odd years ahead of you, Rob. Seriously to God, you're only 50 next year. I'm 50 the year after. With me and Robert, there's only 1 year apart. Right, only 1 year apart, basically. You're 50 this year, I'm 50 next year. Do you know what I mean? But what I'm saying, Robert, you're not too old to be a dad. I say you are not too old to be a dad. You may be 50, but Calebs tend to live into their 90s. Caleb Sankey was about 92. So when Caleb Sankey died, Robert, he was about 92. You're only 50? That gives you another 40 odd bloody years, Robert. Serious to God, Robert, you've got another 40 odd years ahead of you. Have another bloody kid. Get it off your chest. You want a son. I think Robert will have a son. He's only 50, for fuck's sake. You've got 40 more years ahead of you. You're the Caleb, Robert, not me. I said, Robert, you are the Caleb. Now, the last Caleb lived to be about 92 or 93. That gives you another 40 odd years. Go for it. I don't think we're finished yet. But anyway, I'm going to end this movie before it runs out. Hello. Merry Christmas.